Alright, and we are back with Frostpunk, and also very pleased about the network conditions today, as we are dropping like what 30 to 40% of all frames, so enjoy. There isn't much that can be done about that, of course, overall, as like apparently the wireless internet data are not on our side, so that's kind of difficult to realistically. Apparently everything has audio on. Alright, all the issues first of all that need corrected. In addition, dropping like half the frames even at times, so yep. Let's also then, as there isn't much that can be done about the overall network weather, which is ridiculous, we just move towards the game and hope you enjoy, and we at some point get better network conditions, as it's kind of like beyond our control, unfortunately, how many frames we actually get through. Clearly not the best today by far, network wise. Maybe everyone is at home and turned their whatever equipment on, so that we have very limited network bandwidth. Very pleasant. Alright, so let's then also remember to put the new bouncy in the chat. Kisu made the very nice one with the tail, so that's certainly fun. It's also available to subscribers, so thank you. And let's then move towards the game here, whether we get any frames through or not. That is quite hard to help overall. Hello there, Raven. Good to have you here, and apologies for having very poor network conditions today, which is like, yeah, it varies with the always excellent mobile network practically, because they of course removed any copper, and probably fiber is not coming to this part of the woods anytime soon, like wouldn't at least hold breath while waiting. So welcome to the stream and thank you for joining. Hopefully we get some frames through. So let's then move towards the game, and thank you once again for joining. There we are, and let's then load our earlier game and see what we can. What we can accomplish. We should most probably research also heaters, because we at least know how to use them. Alright, we do not have enough wood. Very well. Alright, our resource situation is kind of... We are gathering more wood currently, so that at least will improve. Do we have any other pressing concerns? Only find another settlement. Alright, and how's our... What are we doing with the scouts? They are on a mission, so things are in that respect acceptable. And we are producing coal, which is good to know. Alright, coal pit's depleted, so we should most probably starve the coal timber, as we are going to run out of live coal. That requires a coal mine, which requires drawing boards to research, so because we can't research coal mine until we have drawing boards, which requires a lot of wood, so we should most probably research drawing boards first. Of course, heaters would help with the dropping temperatures, so let's do that first. It isn't such a major resource drain to first research heaters, so let's go that way. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Zippler. We are unfortunately dropping frames considerably, as there apparently is no better network conditions available in this neck of the woods today, but let's greet you properly. It's very nice to have you here. So let's of course greet you properly on the main screen. Greetings and thank you for joining. And we are apparently still dropping like 50% of all frames, but that is hard to do much about realistically, so let's return to the game. So let's then see about what else we can or need to do. Right, we have steel wreckage, and now that we are manning this thing, it should produce a pile of coal somewhere that we can in turn use to produce coal. Yes, and this requires people to mine from. And we have also another coal pile that we are working with, and it will also deplete quite soon, so we will then get workers from there. And then we have yet another one which is going to last a bit longer, and that way we have to sooner or later all together move to mines and dumpers, because it's actually impossible to maintain stable coal economy with just piles, because they will get depleted. Otherwise we actually do not have that many major concerns. We do have sufficient healthcare, we do have sufficient, like we at some point have to do something about amputees, like start production of prosthetics, but we are not facing an immediate crisis right now. The temperature will drop, so using workplace heaters will become more important, but in general we are actually in very good shape compared to the previous game. And we have researched hunter's gear, so we should be getting more output also from the hunters at this rate. Cheap viewers. Right, so you will get your message deleted. Thank you for your advertising. We are not interested. So let's then see about. We do have pretty good resource situation, so we could construct. We can also make legislation. So let's see what needs legislating. Child labor, all jobs not needed. Ceremonial funerals, the issue is that they will also. Care house, that would be quite useful for the amputees, that we can actually send them to the care house, which will later lead to also being able to provide prosthetics. So. And how long do we have to build a care house? The usual 3 days. So let's see, like we should then build a care house. Someone was injured during the duel. Oh well. Let's see if we have heated area where to build a care house. We should most probably sooner or later add another coal burner here to heat also this side. Or we could heat this side of the street, but do think because the cemetery is here and we can't heat that to not melt the permafrost, so practically do think this would be the primary direction for expansion. So if we build the care house here, it will not function immediately, but we can then build also a steam hub to add heat to that area. So let's proceed in that manner. And we should also have output from the hunters, yes, so this is more or less realistic. Good. And we fulfilled the promise, which increased hope. We also need to provide more housing as we. So we should most probably construct steam hub in this direction. That would be probably optimal position, because then we get that would that give more expansion area, because we of course shouldn't be heating. So I think that is quite good location. So then we can, as long as we can maintain coal production, we do have more area with heat provided, which keeps our overall situation in check, also housing wise, as we will get more inhabitants with the scouts arriving back also, which will cause us more needs to provision sufficient amount of housing. so currently we do not have that much more. We do have enough food to build more houses, so let's only speed up time until the steam hub is constructed and then construct more housing. Alright, and we get more workers. New arrivals, so we will need more housing. Now we also have a heated area there, so we can start building more housing here. Now also the workplace is heated, which is luxury, would say, considering how well it tends to go with the right, that's not connected to a street, so let's resolve that. There we go. Oh, hello there, Camu. Thank you for your resup. Let's thank you properly. So we pause the game and hopefully at least we are dropping frames at about the same rate. Oh well, apologies for that, but let's both greet and thank our good Pat properly for their continuing support. Always really good to have you here and supporting the stream. Very thankful for that. Oh. There we go. Always good to have you join and support the stream. Hopefully we at some point get like better network, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's like not very commendable. So let's then continue with the game and see how that goes. We at least have more inhabitants to try and take care of, so there we are. And we also have drop in temperature coming up. At least we have some workplaces heated even, which is a considerable luxury. And we are developing workplace heaters, so we should have pretty high coal consumption. Let's see, like in our reports, we are still in the positive coal wise, because we are practically expending coal at a rate that is sustainable. We may need to build another coal dumper moderately soon, but we are at this time going at a sustainable rate, so it is absolutely manageable. Alright, and we have to lost one of their limbs. Yes, it doesn't specify which. If this were in the style of Dwarf Fortress, we would have exact knowledge like which limb they lost. Heaters research. Now we can also heat certain workplaces. And we have also depleted coal piles, so now we should mine this, and then we have another coal pile here. And then we can continue with research. We just need more wood. And we also need to send the patrols out. Alright, what happens to the observatory? Instead of astronomers, we are met by some of our lost people. They explained that they came here for help but found everybody dead. The astronomers continued their observations until they starved, called that dedication. What was so important for them? They wrote it up in their diaries. The loss of sunlight can't be explained solely by the fouling of the atmosphere by the southern volcanoes. The sun is dimming. That's kind of very cheerful news. How would you like lessening irradiation? That's a great start. Like, how would you like your world with global cooling, which is clearly going on? Escort the survivors to the city. Yes, please. And now it will take some time for them to arrive again, so how's our resource production situation in the work time? We are producing wood, and now we should be able to even use the heaters if we find the right thing. It's in the temperature view, so we need to click this, or how did we get the temperature view? Because that was how you enabled the heaters, but it requires like the view with the temperature. Would like to turn the heaters on if found the right thing to click upon. Yes. Would be pleased to use the heaters, but do not actually really know how it works. Alright, second coal pile depleted, which means practically we are mining this, and we had a coal pile deplete. We should also construct another coal tamper. Which probably requires steel. Now we have so much wood that we can start researching drawing boards though. Which allows more research. Let's see what... Alright, it's only wood. So this is actually realistic. We could build probably another one here, so this at some point becomes a heated area. We shouldn't waste excess heated area by building there. So do think that we can build one here and later expand the heated area. But we are more or less staying sustainable as long as we are increasing coal production at a sufficient rate. What in turn is not totally sustainable at this rate will be the food economy. At least we can now how much does this coal pile have anyway? 170. Let's move some resources into hunting for now. Interestingly, you can practically force double shifts by moving workers between hunting and mining, because they apparently do not count that as a double shift, so it's alright, and we get more population, including 18 engineers, which is quite good when you consider the overall situation. And now we need more housing. We also need more wood, but we can build like at least one unit of housing with that, which is better than none. We also now have workers to man that, so we are increasingly getting into now we have shortage of coal economy, but that will be fixed immediately once this is working, because then we have another coal pile here we can mine. And temperature will also increase 1 click in about a day, so we are actually in a pretty good situation also in that respect. Oh, hello there. Well, good to see you here. Let's also greet you properly. So, oh, greetings to you, and hopefully you had a good rest of the stream. Went out for a bit longer walk, so that took a while. So let's then move back towards the game and see what we can and need to do next. And we should also have more healthcare. We will build more once we have more wood. So currently we do not have that much reasons to not speed up the time until working hours. Let's send the scouts out at this point, so we have the sturdy shelter next, and it's kind of annoying because finding the sturdy shelter practically causes that you then have to know the fate of Winterhome, which causes the Londonians faction to form, which we do not really like, because they of course oppose us. Oh well. At least our wood production is quite stable, as we have a sawmill and we have raw food. We should probably construct one hunter's hut more. So let's see about that. Alright. So now it's work time, so we are generating more wood. And this is now working, so we can practically, once the coal pile appears here, we can practically start mining that. That way you can enable the workplace heaters even better. That might help a bit with illness. And now we can move to mine this, which helps considerably. Now we should be again ahead on the overall coal supply situation, yes. Then we need to build more housing and build more approximately everything, so let's start with building another medical facility here. And as we have enough wood, also another tent. We do not currently really need steel, so more pressing concern next, once there is wood available. We shall build another hunter's hut. Alright, 20 wood. So let's keep building. Temperature will fortunately raise again soon a bit, so that helps some with the cold. Let's see, should we also enable workplace heaters here? Apparently that doesn't separately show them, so it becomes only very cold once you enable workplace heaters. With heaters enabled, that is actually just drawing board research, so now we can research more things also in that respect, which improves the situation. So now we can research generator upgrades, and we can also research more scouts. Resource depot upgrade, coal mining, charcoal kiln, well drill. Alright, And we can also research the hothouse, which improves the food production, so that's quite useful. Requires also steel. We should see about producing steel also. Here we have right new medical post opened, that hopefully helps with the healthcare situation. And we should again like see about producing steel. There we go. Storage limit reached, which is of course good, and we are mining the pile there, so it's of course a positive problem when you have excessive amount. I do think our coal situation is totally sustainable, yes. So running the heaters is not either causing us any problems. People are hungry. Food problem. Let's feed them. We can most probably by pushing the food production somewhat. So we should build additional hunter's hut. And we should research the hothouse once we have enough steel. One of the problems is that engineers can't work in the hunter's hut, so we should quite simply free workers for hunting and employ engineers instead, which is somewhat paradoxical. Excess of engineers, because workers are in this case more valuable. There we go. Now we have enough workers to man the third hunter's hut, so we should be able to improve in food production considerably. Alright, and we can also legislate again, so let's see. We can also now set the prosthetics law. We just need to then produce prosthetics. So we need a factory to actually produce them. We should most probably have access to factory before we sign that, so that people are not expecting prosthetics immediately. We already researched the factory. Nope, we just can have more scouts at this point. We most probably need also crafting machinery to actually have access to the factory. So legislating for overall legislating for prosthetics might not yet be viable. So let's then. Alright, we are up to about half stream length, so let's continue. And see what we can do. We should most probably also save game separately, as once we explore the depot. The problem is that we will get the Londoniers faction. Our main issue is still that we can also build more housing, so let's keep resolving the housing issue. Alright, let's speed time up until alright, now we have very the trail leads to another city. We discovered the steel bridge and we can take resources. Let's then explore the steel bridge. Alright, and our main problem is still one of food. At least we have 3 hunters' huts, so we should gain considerable amount of raw food going at this rate. Main driver for this content most probably is A cold weather, B lack of food. Alright, now we at least have more raw food, so and then we of course approach working time again, and we have sent the scouts out to the steel bridge, so let's make sure that our cookhouse is also functional.
Work time. Get back to work.
Yes, and it produces 40 units of food per hour, so work time begins, so we can eliminate homelessness for now with one more unit of housing. Temperature also increased, so and we are producing steel. How much is required to research? Alright, we have enough steel. Wood is being produced quicker, so now it's quite manageable in that respect. Let's see, our coal situation is well sustainable, so we can build another steam hub further on. Alright, this is even comfortable. Have we enabled heaters also in steel production? Apparently we even can't, which is kind of pathetic. Uncertain what is exactly the precondition. At least we have more food rations now, so we should also construct more medical facilities once we have another heated zone. Food production wise, can we now research the hothouse? Yes. So we can also grow some vegetables in addition to the hunting, which is of course more stable. Hello there, Jax. Let's greet you properly on the main screen also. Alright, and we are up to about an hour at this rate. Oh. Hello there, Jax, and thank you for joining. Always good to see you. How have you been? So let's then continue with the game. There we go. And we should most probably now that we have both wood and steel, we should see about building yet another hunter's hut. Like, let's keep at the problem, if nothing else. Scouts reached the steel bridge, so let's explore there. And we found the functional automaton, which helps a bit. Let's send it to the city, as we certainly need automaton more than. And we also discovered the weather station at the large convoy, so we sent the automaton to the city and then we continue to weather station or large convoy. Let's see about the weather station. Scouts unit sent to weather station and then the automaton will arrive in the city. Alright, and we have finding the bridge to Winterholm proved that we are on the right track, but raised questions. Why was the bridge deserted? Why wasn't that automaton under care of an engineer? Where there are logical explanations to it all, but people are growing anxious. Yep, this is the problem. Then they found a faction. And we are building the final housing unit now, so we have eliminated at least homelessness. We have reduced hunger, but it's like I should have really many facilities. How much does it require to build another 20 steel, so we are kind of overlapping. Almost optimal would be to build one segment of street and build it here. Let's do that. There we go. Four hunters huts should almost totally resolve the. Let's see, we have workers mining here, so we are going to release those to hunt also tonight. Like, let's produce food inefficiently. Alright, moving. Hopefully that goes well, Jax. Alright, and now this is finished, so we immediately have them hunt also. Like, yes, let's solve the issue by having even more hunters. Four hunters huts, at least we are like trying to force the food situation. Like, yes, force it with power, if nothing else. Alright, and then we can probably speed time up, as there isn't much we can do, as we do not have enough wood to build a medical station immediately. And we have the single additional bit of street, so we can construct this here and add to the livable area. Alright. At least our food situation will be improved once the cookhouse opens. Then we can build a medical depot here once the Steam Hub is finished, at least we are eliminating starvation. So in that respect we are getting closer to actually having balanced food economy with 4 hunters' huts, so it starts to be kind of... How much wood does it cost to build a medical facility? 25, so we have to wait a moment. But we are at least now getting like somewhat of a mastery of the food situation. So we can most probably fulfill the pledge to feed everyone at least once. And then we explore the weather station. There's nobody in the weather station, but everything still seems to be operational. We could try to find out what scientists from Winterhome were working on. Grim forecast, unsurprisingly, like, would you really think that the weather station would give any hopeful forecasts? We found scientists' notes. They predict that the great cold is going to get much worse. What's more troubling is that the observations ended abruptly months ago. There's also not a can of spam, not even a crumb of bread left in the pantry. It's obvious they moved out for good. We can see the city of Winterhome from the roof of the weather station. Then we can see Winterhome large convoy or coal mine. Researching Winterhome is kind of an issue because it forces the Londonier faction to be founded, so let's go to coal mine first. We should also at some point return to city. Let's see how sustainable our coal economy is. It's pretty much in balance, so we need additional coal production at some point, but it's not yet a major issue. We already have enough to construct additional medical depot. So we can abandon the station. The recent report from the weather station has got people talking. They are frightened that such an important facility was apparently abandoned. Scouts are starting to wonder whether the evacuation from London was a good idea. A few are lamenting openly. I knew we shouldn't have come. At least London had real houses, not tents and wooden shacks. Alright, we are gradually taking care of the starvation. Hothouse researched, so now we can again, once resources permit, move further research wise. And what else should be researched? Medical post upgrade. Bunk house which improves habitation. This requires both wood and steel, so are we still producing steel? Yes. That's the sawmill. We should certainly produce steel here because it's heated. least we are close to beating starvation with 53 units of food available. What does it require to build a hothouse? 1 steam core, 20 wood. A few hardy crops can be grown here, supplying up to 30 raw food per day. Alright, that's a big building. Let's build one and see how that goes. Word of advice, steam cores. We have just used our first steam cores. Steam cores are necessary components in advanced technology. We can't manufacture steam cores in the city, so let's hope that our scouts find them during their expeditions. Alright. And we research. Not yet, we need more steel. Fortunately, it's now being produced. And we need to release engineers from somewhere in useful amounts to have the medical depot open. There we go. New medical facility opens. It should improve this. Now we are quite close to balance in that respect, and we are constructing the hothouse next, so situation is at least gradually stabilizing in that respect. So how are we doing time wise? Right, about 20 minutes left. And we are still dropping frames in the same secure fashion as before. Oh well. So let's continue. Oh, hello there, Priareos. Let's greet you properly on the main screen. Oh, hello. Hopefully you have had a good weekend this far. We are still continuing with Frostpunk for some time. And we could research something, but it's now free time, so we didn't probably produce enough steel. Also, our food situation is almost resolved because only one is starving. It's a good situation when only one is starving. So let's return to the game and alright, the scouts are almost arrived. We can't do much else because we have no lack of housing. Scouts have reached the coal mine. Explore. More coal than we can use. The coal mine was in operation until very recently. The machinery isn't running now, but there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Perhaps the mine simply extracted its quota or filled the loading bay. We could retrieve plenty of raw materials if we took the machinery apart. restart the mine later. Certainly, that's better situation. Outpost team here to build an outpost. Delivering 800 coal every 1 day. That's good. Then we could go. We should return. Let's return to city because we have many resources with the scouts, including 102 food, 213 wood and 2 steam cores. So let's return to city and deliver those. So, only issue is the food issue. We are currently actually doing quite alright. So let's speed up until working time. We will actually be able to resolve hunger this round anyway, as we have so many hunters huts delivering also raw food. And people are much happier. Let's thank the Lord for all his blessings. People are much happier than in the previous game where they liked to rebel. Oh, hello there, Tika. Let's also greet you properly on the main screen. It's always good to have you join us. Oh, greetings. So, let's then see about what we will still accomplish in the game. So we have work time starting soon. How's our coal economy? We should build another coal facility sooner or later. That's not the main issue currently. Alright, this also requires workers. It's been built now, so it requires workers in general. Alright. We can most probably release workers from the hunter's hut, because it's not like if we have them produce food by other means. And work time started, so let's see if this is more efficient means of producing food. Let's also remove the hungry were fed. Most of the hungry were fed and satisfied for the time being. Whole prices. We have pretty good situation in that respect. And the automaton is going to arrive soon. We can use the automaton for some task also. Alright, the automaton arrived, which is quite interesting contraption. It's useful because it also produces some labor value. Alright, 2 opinions like. Some marvel about it. Apparently there's no labor movement yet who would be complaining about it. Let's for now put steel production to the automaton, which should practically resolve the issue that we have more labor power available. And we have absolutely no problems currently, which is unusual in this game. Using automatons, yes. And we should have enough steel to also start researching the next thing with the medical depot upgrade. People employed in medical posts will heal the sick 20% faster. Would say that's a worthy research. Alright, and we have enough wood for almost any endeavor currently, but we have no shortage of housing, so let's see. Alright, the hothouse produces 2.7 raw food per hour, so our food situation should be better under control, as we practically have. We have no more steam cores yet, but once we have another steam core, we can most probably expand in that respect also. And our coal economy is not sustainable at this time, but we have quite big stockpile. We should construct third coal tamper when practicable. So let's progress with that also.
Gather your tools. The shift is ending.
At least our food situation has become more sustainable, especially if we add another hothouse. So scouts return, and then more scouting is the priority, as we actually have no major problems in the city right now, which is unusual. The temperature is going to drop, that will cause some additional issues, but in general we are actually in a pretty good position still. So in that respect, alright, we are coming up to 1.5 hours soon, but let's keep going at least until 10. Alright, the scouts will return soon, which will correct certain problems We can speed up time for now because the scouts bring a lot of resources and then we can send them out again. We have more steam cores, so we can actually construct another hothouse that will improve our overall supply situation. It's just this quite a big building, so we will build another here. And then we can send the scouts out again, and we are going to next probably check out the large convoy, because going to the winter home itself is kind of like that will trigger the Londonier faction. So let's visit the large convoy first. We must probably gain more citizens from there. We can gradually move towards using the hothouses instead of the hunters' huts, also partially as producing food constantly during the day produces good results in the resource gathering respect. Steel wreckage depleted. Alright, we also have 51 steel, so we can now put the automaton to work somewhere else. Producing from wood crates isn't very useful. What else there is even left? We would need coal mine there. And there. And there. That would require, do you think, even steel works. There's another steel wreckage there, so automaton time. Temperature falls. Alright, and soon it's again work time, so, and now we can move from the hunter's hut to the hothouse, also in this part. Actually, our food situation is kind of getting better overall, so now our main issue should be reaching the use of the factory for one. We do not really need emergency shifts. We do not even need to go for soup, so that is good. Extra rations for the ill. New ability. That's currently sustainable, so ill can be fed better. Alright, and that will trigger anyway the problem, because that will be a survivor from Winterhome, and they tell that Winterhome didn't do well, and now our next problem is that the Londonier faction will start agitating. We love the Londoners. We found an exhausted man at the edge of our city. He said that he came from Winterholm, a settlement located not far from here, and that he was the last survivor. Winterholm is dead, everyone's dead. There's no hope for survival in this accursed wasteland. You are all doomed, you must escape. And now we will. The news has shocked everyone in the city. There were supposed to be many settlements and construction crews here. People living normal lives in houses heated by generators, but we are alone. And this will cause a major hit for the morale, unfortunately. Like that. And typically now we need to choose like practically that we start having guard towers and otherwise enforcing discipline, or we can go with fate, but it doesn't seem very sustainable. Like, let's believe things will get better, so we choose order and discipline this time at least. And now we can introduce neighborhood watch.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
And now we can start building watchtowers, of course. And these are supposed to build close to happy days, and so it's kind of like. And then we build one here and add a street. So. The unconvinced want to leave, and now we get the Londoners faction, everyone's favorite. Sir, you've convinced the majority, but hope is low. A group of people are still so scared that they want to flee the city for London in 15 days. They've come to try to change your mind. You say order will save us. Nonsense. What are you going to orderly decide who to eat first when we start to starve? If we don't reach London, we'll end up like Winterholm. Yep. And now we have the Londoners faction. Many people may join the Londoners. We would need to increase hope, which kind of requires various measures like sufficient amount of watchtowers. At least we now have much more sustainable city, we just need to increase hope. And now we have upgraded the medical post, so that's an improvement. We should probably even research crafting machines next. It will be expensive, but we have the resources, so that opens new options, hopefully for also increasing hope. Our coal economy is almost sustainable, but we also have full stockpile, so it's kind of like running against the rate limiter. At least the food situation is practically tolerable, so at least the first thing that's happening is not that we are starting to starve. What are actually the modifiers for hope? Very hard to read because it once again uses the smartest solution possible, which is of course. Can we actually demolish this? Yes, it salvages 15 wood. We do not really need the hunter's hut when we are running 2 hot houses. Alright, we have built watchtowers and now we can man them. Because we do not really need workers currently, as we are running against the storage limiter on coal. We can practically some people in. Watchtowers built, hope rises. Let's heat some homes. Chilly and how warm it should be. Alright, we are going to finish for now, so we have done over 1.5 hours, so let's pause and we will save the game and then wish you good evening. We are not going to raid anyone this time, but rather finish here. So thank you all for joining and hope to see you later tonight. We'll see if have another stream tonight. Thank you for joining. And we dropped, for fun statistic, we dropped 63.1% of the frames, so hoping for